All right, guys. Sorry about that technical difficulties. Um, let's get this party started again. All right. So what I was doing, I was going over. I was just gonna recap the trades from today. Usually when I do a class, I don't really have time to do a video the night before. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and recap these here. So CRWD, this was the first trade we took. This was an opening range breakdown. Here's the opening range low that we got set. Here's the opening range high. And as I said, we saw how it traded in between the high and the low all day long. This is usually when a stock does this, we don't really get any other chances to trade it. But the window was so large, we were able to, find another channel that we could potentially trade. So what this did, we put in the opening range high and low. Even though this was a long, pretty big candle, I think the range on this was what, $9 or something. But no, actually more than that. It was $11. Or no, $9. Okay. And normally you won't trade this, but a stock like CRM can make really huge moves. So it could actually put in another candle, another $9 candle behind this. I mean, it has that type of potential. So that's why I stayed engaged, even though we pretty much ate up the trading range that we looked at. There was still another, potential that it could wash. We got in, we took profit at the first target, which is a little bit over $1 away. We do this just so we can lock in. We want to be able to lock in some profit here. We don't want to, have it and not have locked it in. And this is the main reason why. It ran into support, kind of in the middle of nowhere, and bounced back, took us out at break even. It tried to break down again, but here it never confirmed it. We closed back below the opening range low, but this candle never confirmed it. So there was never another entry on this opening range breakdown. Because we were within the first 30 minutes, it would still be considered an opening range breakdown. After 10 o'clock, all of the trades for me turn into continuation type trades. But that was on that. Still got a pretty good hit, base hit. And we talked about this today. Base hits are the way to score. I mean, if you think about it, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Moneyball. It's kind of where this theory of mine comes from. A series of base hits, you're going to score. If you walk 4 players in a row, one is going to score. If you get base hits, eventually you're going to score. But if you go up swinging for home runs every time, you're going to strike out more than you hit a home run. And if you're trading and you're not able to manage your risk the right way, you're going to lose money. And so just hitting these base hits, building up your account, and before you know it, you're going to have a nice little nest egg. So base hits, I'll take all day. Now, yeah, I want a big follow through like yesterday. We want the huge follow through moves like we had yesterday, like we had Monday. But they don't come every day. But we nailed this base hit. Never did get another entry. So what it does, You guys know my continuation is based on the channels. So at the bottom down here, we put in the bottom of this channel, and when we bounced and then started to come back, we put in the top right here. And you could see this top was solid all day. This was solid support once it broke back through it. So once it puts in the channel, this is the initial channel of the day. Unless we've got some big windows of opportunity like we have here, you don't trade inside this channel. Oh, come on. I don't know why sometimes it's so hard to get this straight, but whatever. I'm gonna leave it the way it is. But this is a pretty big window here, pretty big window down to the opening range low. So once we confirm the loss of this level here, I was looking for the move down. This is one of those cases where it just didn't work out. There was too much support sitting here. We didn't get enough people wanting to fade this going into the close. Somebody was defending this level. I mean, it's obvious. So, we got stopped out of that. But still a pretty nice hit. No complaints. We took what the market gave us and we kind of moved on. Next one is or was BA. Oops. Next one was BA. Now, we didn't get the opening range breakout on this trade. What we went for was a secondary trade. And again, here is the initial move up. We put in the initial move up. We put in this top. We pull back. We put in the bottom of this channel. So we pretty much set the first channel of the day. So my trade, I'm looking for it when it either breaks out or breaks down into clean air. Now, obviously, if it broke down, if it bounced and came and it broke down, it would have to clear all this before I trade it. So for me, the only clean trade would have been a break of the top of the channel. That's what we got. We got the first leg. It pulled back to break even. And so I was waiting to get the next leg. Okay, here's the next leg. It put in a top, it pulled back. So it put in a new top. Here's a channel that it's trading in. And look, it never did break back below. Never did break back below. It traded inside of this channel for most of the day. And then it finally broke out. Guess what? We were waiting in chat all day. If you were here with us, we were waiting in chat all day for this to break. Once it broke, look at the solid move it gave us. I took profit up through here. We had to pull back. This was a clear spot that I could have added back. Because here, once it took out this clear spot to add back right here. So I could have added back, but I didn't. I was still in, just taking profit. Hit second target. My last one was 225. It didn't quite get there. Almost made it. So I took the last piece off. All this is guys, this happens every day. Every day, these trades happen if you're patient. But what happens to a lot of us, we make some money out of the gate, and without knowing it, we're trading inside a channel like this that gives us limited moves, and we end up getting shaken out. And all of this money that we made over here, we're giving back. And before you know it, we're down, we're pissed off, and we can't be patient anymore. We want to take trades. And we end up just continuing to dig a deeper and deeper and deeper hole. So, being patient, and we saw this today. I sat here, I was patient, even dozed off a couple times, but I wasn't going to force anything. I wasn't going to anticipate. This is really, really simple. The hard part, what makes this hard, is us. Human emotion makes this trading really difficult. If you look at this is extremely simple. You let the chart put in the channels, and you trade when they break them. If it doesn't work, your stop is really, really tight. Not so that you're not allowing the trade to work. It's just that once it gets to this level, if it doesn't work, if it stalls out, okay, fine. Let's move on to the next one. Or let's wait for it to build up some more strength or weakness, depending on which way we're trading it. It's really, really simple. So base hits are getting to your first profit target and then stopping out at break even. Yeah. If it's going to hit my first target, now, yeah, you do see sometimes the stock never hits my first target and then it pulls back and we get stopped out. That happens. I mean, there's no way around that. You've got to have, your trade has to make sense. Okay, it has to make sense. So, it's got to reach at least a certain point for my trade to make sense. So that will be the first target. After that, break even. Because it makes no sense to take profit and then turn around and give it all back, trying to wait, and hope for the stock to go back. What we normally have to wait for confirmation for this one. Not necessarily. If you've got some momentum, you really don't need to wait for confirmation. You can buy on the break. If it doesn't have momentum, if it's just grinding, slow grinding, and just kind of, really doesn't seem to have a whole lot behind it, then we wait for confirmation. It's nothing wrong with trading either way. But as you get deeper into trading and you get more screen time, you'll be able to determine whether you want to buy on a break or whether you just want to wait for confirmation. You could, 100% you will learn how to judge that. But I typically tell you, if I'm going to wait for confirmation, or this is one of those stocks that, or I like the way it's building up, it looks like we're building momentum, then we just go from there. See, it doesn't look like you waited for confirmation on the BA trades. But for CRM, you're looking for, well, I pretty much answered that. It's based on the stock and the price action. If you can't read it, if you have a hard time reading it, there's nothing wrong with waiting for confirmation. Guys, when we're growing, it's better to be safe than sorry. I'd rather go in with a zero balance, zero money made today versus being red because I wasn't patient. All right, last trade. PTON. Okay, here was the top of this channel. And basically what we're doing all day is watching stocks put in channels. Watching it trade from support, resistance to support. Watching it put in channels. And then waiting for the break. All right, so here, you can see here was the opening range breakout here. Here was the first channel. The first top here. Then second top. Then when it pulled back, put in this bottom. And guys, you see, when you start drawing these across, later in the day, when it comes back, you will see stocks react to this. Look at where it pulled back. This is where it bounced. Look at here. I mean, I know it ran into the 200 here too, but look, when it bounced off the 200, what resistance did it run into here? And look at this candle when it sold off. It reacted to this same level. And look when it bounced. Rejected here once. Rejected here twice. Rejected 3 times. If you're a scalper, these are the things you look for. Because as soon as it hits you and you get a rejection, you're going to short it. And you're going to short it to the next level of support that you find. It may be 20, 30 cents, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that type of trading. It's just that that's not what I do. So here we got the break. So we bought it on the break and took profit here. Now this was an accident, but I was trying to put in 118. I don't know if I did 116 or something. Whatever I did, when I put the stop out, the profit target out, it automatically filled. But that was a good mistake because you can see it didn't make 118. It pulled all the way back. Stopped us out at break even. So this was another base hit. Today was a day of base hits. But we base hit our way to 554.74. So let me turn my... Oh, wow. See, I'm a little confused. I heard you say don't trade in the channel. But how does that differ from a continuation trade? As it will grind high in the channel and will execute. I don't anymore. Once I started drawing channels, remember, well, you might not have been here, but remember there was a time where the continuation trades were just not going, they weren't working. They would set up and they would stall out and they just wouldn't flat work. And as I went back and I started looking at the charts and really studying them, and I just kind of inadvertently started drawing these lines and realized these stocks are forming channels. And so that's when I went ahead and made the change. And this is what we've been doing for the last several months, is not really executing in the channel. Like inside here, I wouldn't, but if we've got a 3 or 4 point window inside a channel, then I could take a risk, because if it sells off, it stalls out halfway, that's 2 points. So that's worth it. That's not really a scalp for me. But that's why I go through every day and I'm telling you, well, there's not enough room inside this channel to really even trade it. Stay away from it. Let it break above it or below it. Or like today when we're looking in CRM, I said, look at the window. Yeah, you're talking 215.50 to almost 220. So even if we only got 2 points out of this, that would be a really good trade. So in this case, we were executing in the channel, but you could see how much room. But if you've only got like a point and a half, 2 points is not really worth it. You stay out of it, you tend not to get chopped out or lose your money. We wait for these breaks. And this is what we work. It's consistent. It keeps us consistent. We're able to manage our risk as long as we stay disciplined. The only time I screw up, if I lose too much money, is because I get stubborn and I don't want to stop out when I'm supposed to. And I end up losing more money. But if I do like I'm supposed to, we have a really good day. All right, any questions about the day? But I tell you what, $550, if I could average $550 a day, that's $2,600, $2,700 a week. Who wouldn't be happy with that? Just trading small. And we're going to get into that here in just a second. What would the stop have been on the BA trade? Which one? The one over here? Or the first BA trade? Because when we get in the meat of our class, you're going to understand where I'm coming from. My stop on this one, it would have been my stop on this one was based off of the top of this channel here. So if we couldn't hold over this, let's say the next candle, this candle failed and closed back below it, and then this candle made a new low, it would take me out. Or if it stalls. And that's what I've been trying to show you, in the morning, to watch when the stock starts to go up and then it stalls out. You start to see the bids get taken up and it just doesn't go anywhere. You see all of this go through and it's just not going anywhere. And it stalls out, then it's probably best to get out and wait for it to set up again. All right, so let's get into the meat and potatoes here. So, any more questions before we start to switch gears? Now, I did this live. I was going to record this, but I said, nah, let's do it live, because if you have questions or comments, this would be the best forum for it. All right, so everybody's good on the trades. I know I've gone over them a couple times already during the day. But for those that have to leave and then come back, I wanted to make sure You guys had what you needed. All right, so as I said, this came about when, last week I had one of the members, and I don't know, you might have seen it because he posted it in chat. That said, hey, I can't remember exactly what it said now, but in essence, it was like, I'm confused because a lot of the stuff that you're teaching, you're not really following it all the time. Like the times where I don't stop out. I get stubborn and I don't want to stop out. And because I have the ability to do that and it not hurt me, I do it. But that's not where things need to be. That's not what I'm trying to teach. So, I thought, and I was like, look, where did everything go wrong? Where did the wheels come off? Okay, why did I start Average Joe Trading to begin with? How did this come about? And the reason why I started it was when I first started trading, there was nobody streaming their trading platform live that allowed you to see them take trades, to see the trades execute, the setup. All I was a part of, and I joined some of the big rooms in the beginning. It was just people calling out or typing it out or whatever. I wasn't seeing it happen. And then showing me on a dead chart, I couldn't make the connection. Some people can. I was that type of person that couldn't. And I knew, being a teacher, that there were a lot of people out there like me. So I started this for the average Joe who didn't have a whole lot of money, who needed a process to help them grow their account. Because as a new trader, and especially somebody first coming in, there's some roadblocks that you're going to run into. Because as a new trader, you're very impressionable. And you're going to go to whoever is saying they're making the most money. It's just natural. There's nothing wrong with that. I know it's a marketing thing, but it's just natural for us to gravitate to that. When I first started, hell yeah, that's what I gravitated to. I'm not ashamed to say, I've said it 100 times. I started with Tim Sykes. I saw him in all this excitement on an infomercial one night, and I was like, yeah, this is exactly what I want to do. This is right up my alley. And I had all the wrong ideas about it because he pushed the right buttons. And I was so close to sending my $5,000 that I did not have, that I honestly did not have, that I was going to have to borrow to be like one of his millionaire students. I almost did that. But that's how impressionable I was. And a lot of new traders are like that. A lot of traders like me were undercapitalized. You didn't have a process. And of course, our first exposure is to someone like, a Tim Sykes, a brilliant marketer, who knows how to get people excited about what he's doing. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's the way the world is. So I knew that there wasn't anything out there that could address all of that. And that's why I started what I started. Another main reason was SureTrader was the only broker that you could really go to day trade like you wanted to if you didn't have $25,000. And I had successfully navigated those shark infested waters, because SureTrader was really set up for you to fail. It was set up to suck you dry until you had nothing left, and then they would go on to the next person. That you had to know how to use that broker in order to make money, how to stay away from some of the traps they had and everything. So me solving the transparency issue, showing you guys how to trade with a parasite broker like SureTrader, but that's all we had. It wasn't ideal, and God knows if we had a choice, we wouldn't be there. But that's what it was. So I wanted to be able to show you guys, how to do it. And so showing the average guy how to day trade and grow their small account and how to use that broker was really where everything started. And that's where my focus was. But what happened is SureTrader closed last November. And at that time, I think CMEG might have been the only broker you could go to from there. I mean, nobody was going to go to F1 trades. I mean, I did roll over some money there, and I think we ended up making, I rolled over $1,500 and got up to $2,800, and I wanted to take $1,300 out. I never got my money. To this day, I haven't seen a dime. But that's why I didn't recommend anybody trading with those people. CMEG would have been the best place, and they operate more like a traditional broker versus SureTrader. All right, so I didn't really see the need. I tried to open an account with them, but they wanted all of this personal data because I was, I made my living as a trader, as an educator. I didn't have a job. I had to show them my taxes. It wasn't enough that, I showed them my account statements from TD Ameritrade and Speed Trader and all that. It's like, no, we need to see your taxes. And I'm like, no, that wasn't going to happen. Stuff like that, I was not going to send. So CMEG was out. And I started trading with Speed Trader, but with the mindset of trying to say, okay, I only have $5,000 in this account, and we'll trade that way. So that's where the wheels came off, because I slowly started trading more intuitively, which is what I normally do. And my other accounts, they're more intuitive trades versus the mechanical setups that I teach new traders. And that's how you have to grow your account. If you try to grow your account, a smaller account with these intuitive trades, all it takes is one bad trade to wipe you out, because you really don't have enough to support you if you're really wrong. And so I started mixing a lot of that. And I know it was frustrating to you because it was more frustrating to me. And so every time I started trying to figure out, what's going on, what am I doing, and all of this, that's what it was the whole time. The wheels just came off, and I didn't really see it. So I had to back up, and that's what I'm doing. I'm backing up, and that's why I'm trying to use Thinkorswim, because I would just as soon use that, since I have it connected to DOS right now. But I'm really making sure that that's going to work out and I'm not going to have any issues when I'm trading. The reason, not only does it have zero commissions, but the short availability is somewhat limited, just like CMEG, where most of you guys are trading. So I'm going to have limited short availability, which is another, issue that you guys have to deal with if you're trading with, a broker that kind of caters to smaller accounts. Somebody mentioned IB, interactive brokers, you got to have 25K to day trade. So IB wasn't a viable option. But CMEG clears through IB. I'm thinking they still clear through IB. I know when I was talking to them initially that, they were telling me that. Yes, U.S. residents can trade through CMEG. You just have to verify that you weren't recruited by somebody there. So you have to verify that you weren't, they didn't contact you and say, hey, come trade with us. So yeah, you can. And like I said, they operate just like a traditional broker. So nothing like SureTrade was an animal all of its own. So we can't even deal with that. So now I realize what I've been doing and how I've been frustrating a lot of people. And, I didn't know what the hell was going on. So it took this to get me to think about it and realize, hey, I need to rededicate myself to helping you guys that have smaller accounts, that, have limited ability to short some stocks, how to get out of this hole, how to grow your account. You have to be able to do it. And you guys, I've taken you back and shown you on Profitly, because I got that free when I signed up with Tim Sykes initially, and I used it the first couple of years where I was making $25, $40, $50, $70, and how all of those little wins, they added up. I had small losers and I had small wins, but I had more wins than losses. I managed my risk. And even though I was trading really small, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, I could see my account grow. And, once I developed the process, which is basically the same thing I teach you guys today with just some, added elements that I learned to help give me more of an edge. That's what I'm teaching you guys right now. And that's what I'm trying to execute every day. And ever since I realized that, you had to have seen the change in what I do. That I'm back to just focusing and waiting on things to work out. And not trying to force anything. All right, so I know a lot of new guys. I haven't really had a chance to talk to you. I haven't really laid out everything. So I want to share with you real quick what this chat room is, what this community is, and then I'm going to tell you about some of the changes that we're making. So one of the key things I wanted to do, if you came in to learn, number one, I'm keeping the community. I've only got 150 active members. That's all I keep. I don't deal with anymore because I want to be able to answer everybody's question or help everybody that needs help. And I can't do that if I have 500 members. And I'm not going to hire anybody because then I'd have to charge more money, and that adds a whole nother headache to it. So what if they're doing something a little different than what I teach? It's not going to help you. So in here, I wanted to have one voice, one moderator, one teacher, one mentor. So yeah, I may have, if I'm not here, I may have somebody that's here to kind of keep the peace, so to speak. But we haven't really had that problem. But I don't want you to hear 5 different theories to one problem. Because if you joined to learn what I do, what made me successful. And a big part of that is just focusing on one thing. Okay? There's a lot of people that are members of multiple communities. Like if nothing's happening here, they're going to go here and see what this person is doing. And they're going to see what that person is doing. And before you know it, you're chasing your ass every day. And you have no idea what to do. You may get lucky and nail a really good trade in this place. But before you know it, it's all gone because you've given it all back. So it's really important that I stay focused. And that's why, getting out of whack really bothered me. But I can see and I can understand how it happened. Because I didn't have that focus that I had all along, which was dealing with that damn SureTrader. So also, you found a member chat. You can chat back and forth. Or if you want to talk about me behind my back, you can do private messages with other people. But again, you got to be respectful. Because if somebody says, hey, this guy's aggravating me about this and that and the other thing, then you lose that privilege. So it's something, I want you guys to connect with each other. I want you to feel like we're all one big family with the same goal. Is to come in here and try to be the best trader that we can be. I do stream my trade idea scanners live all day. I basically don't use any other scanners during the day unless my watch list is just completely dead or I didn't have a watch list that morning. Then I'll look at the reversal scanners, the RSI extreme scanner, to try to find some either reversal trades or continuation trades. But honestly, once you build a watch list in the morning, you pretty much don't need a scanner after the morning. You need it for the morning and then that's it. After that, you move on. And then again, one of the key features, you get to see me actually trade live. I'm not calling out trades. I've never been a fan of that. Even when I was in Warrior Trading, a moderator there, I did not like calling out trades. It just, to me, it seemed counterproductive. So that's pretty much the chat room. You've got the ability to, if you can't see something, you've got the ability to blow it up. If you don't want to hear chat, if you don't want the noise, you can block all this out. You don't have to, you can close it up. So you can pretty much set it up how you want to. Also, we've got 3 chat boxes. So swing trades, that stays pretty quiet after the morning. Really, you shouldn't be tracking your swing trades all day. So really, we shouldn't see a whole lot in there. Off topic, is for people who like to hear themselves talk, then you could post all day in that. And I don't typically monitor that. So if you ask me a question and off topic, it'll never get answered unless you directly focus it to me and I get an alert. But that's what off topic is for. And then we have the day trading tab. This is where the most active stuff comes in, where we're talking about our trades and things of that nature. Now, I'm not saying people who like to hear themselves talk is a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm just saying that's where you want to go so that you don't have all the noise in the trading room. All right. So any questions on that before I go into the changes? A bigger font? No, you need bigger glass. You need thicker glasses. How about that? I'll see what I can do with the font. It might block some of the data. Like it may block the type. It'll make all this bigger, but this isn't really important anyway. You'll at least get to see the timestamp, the price, the quantity. You'll be able to do all of that. So I'll see about making those bigger, and hopefully it won't block out too much of the data on the trade. All right, so now we already, like today, Wednesday, we had the live classes every Wednesday. On Sunday mornings at 9 o'clock, we have the market analysis and swing trade watch list session where we build our swing trade watch list for the week. That's where our week gets started. And then, of course, for swing trades, I've just recently added the new members only Twitter, the private Twitter feed. So only the swing trade information goes out on it. And if I get in a trade during the day, I'll tweet it out. Or if I have any exits, I'll tweet those out. I tweet out the trade plans for each stock that I have on watch. If there are changes from day to day, I'll tweet the new changes out. So all of that stuff, I just got started on that. So what I'm going to continue to do, one of the changes that I'm making, I'm going to focus more, just like I've been doing the last couple of days, on detailed trade setup explanations during the trade, during the setup, so that you guys can, really get a good feel for what we're looking at. So I'm going to be doing that more like what I've been doing. And the big thing is the recaps, like I just did at the beginning of this, I'm going to do them in the middle of the day. So whatever I've done in the morning, I'll do kind of a morning recap and have that out. Try to have that posted. Now, the schedule is going to depend on mentor sessions. I do a lot of mentor sessions during the lunch hours between 11 and 1. So I'm going to try to do this around 11:30 every day. But if I have a mentor session, I may have to do it earlier or I may have to do it later. But I'm going to focus on recapping those trades, talking about everything, and then giving some direction for the afternoon. What we're going to be looking at for that afternoon session, what stocks I still feel are in play that you probably want to keep an eye on, and all of that. because I don't have a problem at all taking a nap between 1:30 and 3:30. And so if for some reason I pass out at my desk between that 1:30 and 3:30, you guys will know exactly what to look for. So when I go to lunch every day, okay, well, no, let me start over. In the morning at 8:30, that's when we start our strategy session. It's like morning strategy session, pregame, whatever. That's when we're building our watch list. We're talking about any events that happen that may be moving the market. And yeah, sometimes it will be politics. But it doesn't matter what side of the fence you're on. It's relevant to trading because some of that stuff will move the market. So if it's something that's moving the market, we're going to talk about it. But we're not going to get in there and talk about dumb Donald Duck or sleepy Joe Biden, or we're not going to go into all of that. It's all about what either one of them are doing and how it's relating to what the market is doing and what we need to pay attention to, going forward. All right. So we do have that session in the morning. We're going to do day trading first. At 9 o'clock, we'll switch to swing trading. We'll talk about either the live swing trade or stocks that we have on watch that may be setting up. We'll do all of that at 9 o'clock. And then we meditate a little bit and get ready for the day to start. All right. So we'll do the recaps around lunch. And then when I'm gone to lunch, when I'm not here, that's independent study time. So I try to leave you with any ideas that I have or what I'm looking for. If I'm looking to trade something while I'm at lunch or whatever. But that's your time to put into practice what you've learned. And kind of compare it to what I've done if I actually did anything during lunch. A lot of times nowadays I just don't do anything because there's nothing to do. But just in case something happens or I'm gone and I don't do anything but you take a trade, we can talk about it when I get back. But that lunchtime is not for me to put you in my pocket and take you to lunch with me to let you know what I'm doing and, when I have to go to the bathroom and all of that. It's the time for you to put into practice what you learned. And if you screw it all up, that means you haven't learned everything you need to, and we need to go back through it again. So that's what all that's about. And then we do have aftermarket sessions sometimes. If there's some good earnings coming out, I'll tell you, and we'll be here aftermarket. There are a lot of good aftermarket trades. Was it CRWD that reported this morning? This afternoon? Like CRWD, I can't remember. But there were a couple that had really good trades. If I wasn't having a class, we'd be looking at trading earnings today. We'd have had an aftermarket session. Because there were two really good stocks that weren't too expensive that we could have made some decent money on. But we do have that. Not every day, but we do. Yeah, it was ZS. CRWD and ZS. That was the other one I looked at. There might have been some others that might have been good. FIVE or SPLK might have been good, but I know CRWD and ZS both gave secondary trades after the announcement. Really good setups. All right, so the new deal, I'm going to be looking at doing the recap midday and recording it and getting it out there early so you know exactly what happened this during the morning, and kind of answering morning questions that you may have so it's fresh in your mind. Yeah, it sounds like all y'all need glasses. Y'all might have Y'all might have to get cataract surgery or something. Everything's too small. Yeah, y'all need a bigger monitor with one of these big magnifying glasses over it. Yeah, it's yeah, my eyes are getting pretty bad too. All right, so let's go to let's go to the website. All right, so before we start on anything, mentoring. Now, if you have a membership that has free mentoring, which is Roadmap to Success or a lifetime membership, those are the only two that you get mentoring with for free. The yearly, the quarterly, or the monthly doesn't come with mentoring. This is free. You don't pay extra for it. This is me donating my time. That's why I'm an ass about it, because I value my time. And I want you guys to invest in it just as much as I invest in it. I want you to invest as much of yourself in this as I invest in myself. Now, I had a problem double and triple scheduling mentoring sessions at the same time. So I've got it to where if you want, you sign up for a session through here, through the website. Just come down the home page, scroll down. If you haven't watched this mentoring success video, watch it first. That's got pretty much some good information that'll help you as we prepare for it. But this is booked in hours increments. I'm thinking about doing it in 30-minute increments. So if you want an hour, you just have to book, 2 back to back. But most people, we do 30 minutes or less. But this is where you would click on book. Any of the times that's free. Just pick the time that you want, and we can do it. Y'all see he's got a magnifying glass. He wasn't lying. But this is where you would schedule it. And like I said, now, yes, some people do pay for more. They want more than 1 hour a month. You could pay for more, but I'm giving you 1 hour of my time, period. So, and people that have taken it seriously and have really worked through it and used it to their advantage, they've done really, really well. Because, as we've said before, trading is 100% mental. 100, well, not 100%, 98% mental. So on the website, obviously you got the home page just giving basic information. if you ever have trouble getting into the room, you can always come and try and click on this. This will take you there too, and you can put in your password. Sometimes things get messed up, and you have to, your old link that you were using may get contaminated, but this is a way you could come and click in, and you just type in your password and go. I know up here, a lot of people try to build a profile up here. This is not active. I don't have anything that I'm segregating from anybody. You know how some communities, if you're this level member, you get access to this. If you're that level member, you get access to that. I don't do that. Everybody gets everything. You know, that's the way I wanted it. It's simple. And I don't have to go through and try to keep this person out of that and that person out of this. No, the password, and I was going to announce that today. The password will change this weekend. I didn't change it. I don't like changing it in the middle of the week. So the password will change on this weekend. So no, you didn't miss it. So the only password you need is going to be the one to get in the room and the one to get in the videos, which is going to be the exact same password. So you'll be good to go. So that's all that's on that page. Obviously the membership just covers all the different memberships that we offer, which you guys are members already, so you already know. The videos, I know some people like to be able to take the videos and move it to a different monitor, and all this. And I know the way these are, they kind of play inside the window that you have right now. That's something that I'm looking to get to where you can move it around on any monitor that you want. So you're not stuck on just the one monitor that you have. But the newer classes are always going to be up here, the ones that we're going through at the moment. Once we're doing something else, then this will drop down and the other one will come back up here. But all you got to do is click on the videos and it'll take you directly to any of the classes that you want to go to. Swing trading updates. I try to, every week, here's the video from our swing trade watch list session that we do. I post it up here. So if you miss it Sunday morning, usually by Sunday late afternoon, it's posted. Sometimes it gets earlier. Any active swing trades I'm in, which I need to take this off, and I need to put up the new one that I'm in. I'll update that today. Any active swing trades are going to be here. Once I close them out, I'm going to move them down. So I need to move, I need to move PayPal down to the closed. And then this gives you an idea of where we are. I only did 3 trades last month. Still ended up with $5,600 on just 3 trades. And it was more me. You know, I was scared of the election. Had I not let that bother me, I probably would have made 25 grand last month. As good as the market was, I was just scared. You know, I believed the hype. I believed that the market would tank when they declared Biden the winner. But it didn't. So I got caught in the cold. And then here, this is going to be the, I started tracking this in July for you guys. And this is every month. All of the swing trades I took. And if you want to see which ones, you can go back up, search for search up here and find the one that you want to look at. So all of that's there. The other thing, the activity calendar, I got December's up now. This tells you what days we're doing what. Like the Roadmap to Success class is at 4:30. If there's another class that I'm going to do, sometimes I'll do an extra one or whatever. I'll have it in here. This is the Sunday class right here, or the Sunday session. If we don't have class, like on the 23rd, we're not doing class. The market closes at 1 o'clock on Thursday the 24th. And then that's Christmas holidays. So just like the week of Thanksgiving, I don't trade that Wednesday or that Friday for the most part. It's going to be the same here. I'll be here. I'll bring the room up for you trading degenerates that just can't stay away from the market. I'll help get the day started, but I'm not taking trades because this is when we're going to be doing stuff with our family. I'm going to be, I don't know where I'm going to be. I'm not going to be home, that's for sure. But I'll still bring everything up, have everything going. The scans will be going. But you'll see not a whole lot of people will be here this week. Most people take off. All right, but that's what we're doing. And last but not least, we have Meet the Members page. So some of you guys have sent me your pictures and, what you had to say about me, good or bad. We've got that. So if anybody wants to do that at any time, you can just email me and send me what you want to send me, whatever you want to post. I'll put it up. And that's it with the website. And the last thing, you're gonna see me. Well, I've already introduced you guys to the 60-minute chart, which you cannot say it hasn't really transformed our trading. It's kept us out of some trades that normally we would have been in that just did not work. Because before we had no idea why it didn't work, now we do. And you can't just do it for a week or two and then say, ooh, this is what's causing it. This is, as I said before I brought it out to you, I did it for several months. And then since I brought it out, you can see it's still been the same. Nothing has changed. So, I had to drink some water. So, that's why I use that as part of my analysis in the morning. And if I see a stock breaking out of its 60-minute channel, we're looking for it. So how many times has we looked at Roku breaking out of that channel and it just explodes once it does? That's what these stocks do. Sometimes it's too fast for us to catch, but at least we know that these channels that we look at are really giving us good moves. So what happens when the algos figure it out? Then we do something different. But until that time, we're going to keep kicking butt. I'm also going to be adding And I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate that in with the scans. It would be nice if Trade Ideas had an unusual option scanner, but all I'm looking for are big option trades on these stocks. When I look at, I don't trade options, but when you see a ton of money coming in for, let's say, let me find a chart here. All right, so let's take BA. Let's say I'm sitting here and BA is about to break out of this 220 level here. All of a sudden, I see a big order for weekly 225 calls on BA. What do you think is going to happen to the stock? What do you think is going to happen to the stock? It's gonna run. More than likely, I'm not the only one looking at that. There are other people looking to know, okay, where's the money going? They see somebody buy up these calls, and this is on a stock that's about to break its channel. Shit. All over it, dude. All over it. So it doesn't take a whole lot of it doesn't really take a whole lot of time to look at that. You just look at it, it just comes up, you see it, and it's like, man, this is just giving us another layer to add to our edge. So, well, I've got one. I'm just trying to figure out how to incorporate it to the live feed so you guys can see it as well. That's kind of what I'm trying to do here. But that's the last thing I wanted to share with you. That's the new thing that we're doing. I looked at trying to get Benzinga to be a live feed, but I don't want that. I thought about it. That's just too much damn noise. It's just too much noise. And it could take your focus away from what you're trying to trade. You know, so don't think, I'm not mad at you. I'm saying this before I say what I'm going to say. I'm not mad at you, but the reason why I don't want the news stream like that is, like today I was in a trade. I was trying to manage the trade I'm in, and there was some news that came out on, what was that stock? All right, Denise, I'll catch you later. What was the name of that stock? Phoenix, you're the one that did it. I can't remember the ticker. But you was like, hey, news, check it. You know, Amber. You know, if you're in a trade or you got a focused list and you're waiting on something to set up, you take your attention off of that to chase a news play, and it doesn't pan out, and you come back, you missed your entry. Then you're going to get frustrated, and the door opens to make ill-advised trades. So we're trying to eliminate all of that. So if you eliminate the noise and you keep your focus, that's why I don't play the news all day. I'll play it in the morning. I'll play it, you know, after the close, because we're listening for earnings. But I'm not a news chaser. And I've got a process. And do I trade news plays? Yeah. Only when I don't have anything, no irons in the fire, and news pops up, I'm gonna trade it. A lot of times that happens after market. But that's that. I think I'm done. I covered everything. All right, so you know what's coming. It's gonna break. If a stock's trading in a channel and it has breaking news, it's gonna break out of that channel. It won't be staying in the channel for long. No, the prices are the same. I'm not changing it. It's just gonna be the same. Now, if you want to pay $5,000, I'll be glad to take it. Yeah, I know. I'm joking too. Yep, my accountant told me the IRS is gonna audit me because um I'm not charging enough for what I'm saying the service is worth. But that's fine, whatever. I'm not trying to, the whole point and the reason why I'm keeping it the way I'm keeping it. Yeah, I can make a hell of a lot more money if I take 500 people. But I can't give everybody what they need to be successful if they want it. And that's what's important. All right, so I'm going to cut it here. But if anybody has any questions, I'll still hang around.